It's the 4th of July episode. We're paying tribute to America. We'll bring you the true story of Paul Revere, Betsy Ross, apple pie, and more. Plus, we discuss your inspirational Facebook posts. And who is the truest American, Natron or Dan? Find out who gets the most correct answers on the Real American Citizenship Test. The loser will submit their information to Donald Trump. Get ready. This is Where Are We Podcast.
Will you take what's in my head and erase me when I'm dead? 'Cause the future is now. Now I'm disappearing. The day has turned to night. Can you save me from the light? 'Cause the future is here. This is how I disappear.
I'm ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you ready
Are you ready?
Are you ready to amplify your life?
Crank it to 11. Rip the knob off.
Are you ready to put on a pair of red, white, and blue underwear? It's time to get the mouse in one hand, sausage in the other, and spray it down. Wait a minute, that doesn't sound good, does it? I mean, did I say sausage? I was going for something American-like. I think I meant to say mouse in one hand, hot dog in the other. Spray it down with some mustard. No, that still doesn't sound good.
No. Clean it off with a tissue.
This is going nowhere good. We're recording this after midnight. Nothing good happens after midnight. This is an American episode. And I am Dan. And this is Doctor of Fermentation Sciences, Natron Adam. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. I don't even know what fermentation sciences are.
That's because you have so many prerequisites.
I've heard that once you reach a mastery level, you become closed-minded. So I've closed myself off to it after mastering it.
Speaking of closed-minded, we have no listener emails this week, which I am sad to report. Although my cousin Stephen Thacker actually did post us a very nice promotional Facebook post and told everybody to check us out. So I want to say I really appreciate that first off.
Excellent. Somebody not yelling at us.
Right.
Telling us how stupid we are.
Yeah, I mean, so no news is good news, I guess.
Sure. Well, I've got news.
Oh,
I'm
yeah?
out of the hospital, Dan.
You are? Where are you this
am.
week?
Well, you know, I really wanted to seize the moment, become the best investigative journalist I possibly could. So I trekked on out here to the woods with giant spiders from Harry Potter so that we could talk about superstition.
Natron, we talked about superstitions like 4 weeks ago. You're a little bit behind, man.
Seriously?
Yeah, we had that episode with Jason on the cover. It was all about Friday the 13th and other superstitions. So.
Can you excuse me for a second, Dan?
Sure.
God fucking damn it! What are we talking about?
This week we're talking about America, because the 4th of July is coming up.
America, right. Okay, so I'll talk about America from the forbidden fucking forest.
It's really interesting that you are in the Forbidden Forest, and I hope those acromantulas don't eat you alive.
Me too. Terrified of spiders, Dan. This was really conquering my phobia to come out here this week.
So we're talking about America on this episode because the 4th of July is on the way. Happy birthday, America, by the way. You know what the mascot bird of America is, right?
The three-toed raven.
No, try again, man. You know this. You got it.
The bald eagle.
The bald eagle, right, yeah. And
Right.
everybody thinks that the bald eagle makes this sound. Is that a bald eagle, Natron?
That's a screaming eagle, my friend.
Yeah, that's actually a red-tailed hawk.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Because that's what I believed an eagle sounded like.
yeah. Bald eagle actually sounds like this. Really? I know, right?
It's really disappointing.
Perfect reaction. No. I don't want to believe that.
That can't represent America.
Right.
Oh, What the hell was that?
What is that? Is that a phone from the 1970s?
That or there's a ringing in my ear.
Should I answer it?
I think so. Isn't that that's what we do with phones?
All right, I got it. I picked it up. Hello? Is anybody there?
I'm a bald eagle, and this one's for America. Jackass.
Oh my gosh! We just got
Holy
schooled.
smokes.
Did you hear that? The bald eagle made the red-tailed hawk sound. Or was it
Oh,
the bald eagle? Was it the bald eagle sound?
That's amazing.
He just told us off.
How did he dial that rotary phone with wings?
I don't know.
My mind is blown.
It's inspirational. It's what it is.
Holy crap. I forgot my notes. I think that was my cue. What is the first segment? God damn it. Oh. Here's some inspirational stuff I saw on Facebook.
We've had a lot of great posts so far on the show, and I'm going to bring you a couple of more today.
All right,
Yeah.
I've got one for you as well. My inspirational Facebook finding this week comes from theonion.com. Crowd at Trump rally realizes they've been chanting, "We are frightened and helpless," for the last half hour. The article describes the experience of several Trump supporters at a recent rally, satirical rally, I guess you could call it. One Trump supporter describes it, "Come to think of it, towards the end there, I remember just yelling, 'The world has passed me by,' over and over again." It does a great job of capturing that whole underlying "I'm terrified of everything" feel that goes along with Donald Trump.
It does. Very nice.
It's truly inspirational.
Mine is very inspirational as well. I've got two of them. The first one here from Mike Cope, and he says, "There's a new scam out there. My grandma who lives in North Carolina was contacted by someone claiming it was me and that I was in jail and needed $2,000 bail money. My grandma and aunt called me and realized I was fine, and then that something wasn't right. Creepy thing is that they knew my name and my relation to my grandma and her phone number. They even had an attorney. My girlfriend said the same thing happened to her family." That's my inspirational Facebook post.
Oh, it's
From
a
Mike
good
Cope.
thing that Mike's out there warning us about this sort of stuff. And it is crazy that they had all of that information that's readily available to them on Facebook.
I thought it was inspirational that somebody would sink to such low levels to make a buck.
Sure, that is pretty underhanded. You
Or
gotta
was
be
that
pretty
inspirational?
inspired to be that underhanded.
Yeah. Was that inspirational in any shape or form? Am I losing touch with reality?
I'm just feeding your delusion, so keep on going, Dan. You're doing fine.
Okay, number 2 comes from my friend Sherman DeBerry. A great outlook on life this man has, and he posts yet another wonderful post today. I just read this one. It says, "Another wonderful day coming to a close, so good night, friends. Took a trip to the lake today for some personal business and then a stop at Willow's Bar and Grill for dinner. Food was good, and service was great. Now looking forward to another wonderful day tomorrow, which I do believe will include yard work, since it has been 2 weeks since I mowed. Life is good and gets better every day."
It's incredibly relevant to everything. To just everything.
It's all there, that's for sure. Today's game is very important.
This week, Dan and I will be competing against one another with questions from the civic portion of the naturalization test, the test you take to become a U.S. citizen. Each of us will get 3 questions. We'll answer them to the best of our ability. The catch is the loser here this week gets their information emailed to Donald Trump with the suggestion of deportation.
Oh my gosh.
That's serious.
He probably will want to deport us if we don't get these questions right. Let alone, I mean, I wouldn't mind that so much, but the part about getting your information sent to him, that's the scary part.
Yeah, just that guy having your information.
So the way it's going to work is we each are going to present 3 questions to each other. If we get all 3 questions right, both of us, then nothing will happen. Neither one of us will have to submit our information to Donald Trump. However, if we have a tie in any shape or form, whether we are 1 for 3 or 2 for 3, we will both have to submit our information to Donald Trump. Ooh. Yes. The plot thickens. But if there is a winner, obviously, they won't have their information sent to Trump, and the loser will. So here we go.
All right. You won the coin toss, Danny. So you read first.
Okay. The first question for you, Natron. What do we call the first 10 amendments to the Constitution?
Okay. I know
The
this.
first 10 amendments to the Constitution.
Okay, these are called the Bill of Wrongs.
No, it's the Bill of Rights.
Rights, not wrong.
Second question. 0 for 1 so far. What is one right or freedom from the First Amendment? There are several from the First Amendment. Can you name one of them?
The First Amendment. That one. Okay, so the First Amendment lays out a lot of rights for us. We've got the right to bear arms in the First Amendment, the right to warrantless searches in the First Amendment, the right to quarter troops in the First Amendment, the right to not incriminate yourself in the First Amendment. So there's just several solid examples.
Quite knowledgeable, sir. However, your knowledge seems to be like a cluttered desk, because you have named rights given by other amendments, but not the first. The First Amendment covers freedom of speech, religion, assembly, press, and petition the government.
Well, that doesn't mention not even one thing that I mentioned is
No.
included in that.
Number 3,
All right. Well, I
you're
can still
gonna
get
need.
one right.
Yes, you may need at least one of these. I'm sure you will, because my IQ is like 178. How many amendments does the Constitution have?
There's 52 counting territories.
Actually, there are 27, sir.
Oh,
We award you
missed
no
every-
points, and may God bless America.
pressure's on, Dan.
0 for 3, batting 0. All I have to do is hit 333.
Your first question is, what is the supreme law of the land?
Supreme law of the land, thou shall not steal.
Oh, that was close. But the actual answer is the Constitution.
Oh,
The
I was
US
thinking of the
Constitution.
Bible. Damn it.
Oh, right. Second question, Danny. The House of Representatives has how many voting members?
They have 49 and actually 37 on Sundays.
6 days out of the week they have 49, and on Sundays they have 37.
Right. It's the Lord's Day.
No, that's not even close. There are 435 voting members in the House of Representatives.
Oh my God.
So far, we collectively are 0 for 5. So this last question means redemption for each of us, Dan. If you can name one of the 2 U.S. senators from the state of Missouri.
Gene and Mel Carnahan.
That is incorrect. Claire McCaskill and Roy Blunt were acceptable answers. Danny, it looks like Donald Trump gets both of our information.
Oh my God. Say it isn't so.
I'm saying it so. He'll probably read our information while he's tanning, spray tan dance.
Hooray! America!
What a country.
Yakov Smirnov. Nothing like a Russian saying,
What a country.
Yeah, nothing says America like a Russian comedian.
right. In more than half of all U.S. states, the highest paid public employee in the state is a football coach. Pay that man well. He's taking care of our youth and providing good entertainment. I've got a lot of money in Vegas on this.
I got a lot of pride riding on this.
Yeah. Actually, running the government is your life. My life is this college football team. I don't want your life.
Playing football at West Canaan may have been the opportunity of your lifetime, but I don't want your life.
It costs the U.S. government 1.8 cents to mint a penny and 9.4 cents to mint a nickel.
Huh.
And then we give the authority to print money to a privately owned bank that charges interest on every dollar.
Audit the Fed.
But I like pennies and nickels.
I like them. They're nice.
Almost half of all Americans, 47% to be exact, do not put a single penny out of their paychecks into savings because despite being the richest country, they can't afford it. And
Wah.
they're obligated to blow up small explosives or buy presents on Jesus' birthday.
It sounds like a joke, but it's real life.
In 2014, police in the United States killed 1,100 people. During the very same year, police in Canada killed 14 people, police in China killed 12 people, and police in Germany didn't kill hardly anyone.
Yeah, you have to laugh or you cry.
We're so very free. The average supermarket in the United States wastes about 3,000 pounds of food each year. 20% of the garbage that goes into our landfills is food. I'm really hungry, I'm starving. Where's all the
And-
food?
And 1 out of every 6 children in America are hungry.
Where's all the food? It's in the garbage. Go eat out of the dumpster.
I've thought about being one of those folks that retrieve their resources from dumpsters.
You know, not a bad idea when you think about it. We actually have a really good friend that said he went to a Hardee's regularly and got in the dumpster and would find whole char-broiled burgers in there, and he would have dinner.
The problem in my specific area is not a lot of dumpsters.
You're out in the rural area.
Yeah.
Especially now that you're camping out in the woods with the acromantulas from Harry Potter. By the way, are you okay out there?
I wish you wouldn't have reminded me. You know how they like slowly slink down from the trees? That's
Yeah.
been happening this entire discussion.
Especially since Aragon is now dead and he has no control over them
Yeah.
anymore.
They're just wild animals.
I
now.
mean, he was the only tie to Hagrid and the only thing that kept them things from being savages. So, make one sudden movement and you could be done for.
Well, I'm trying to remain very, very calm.
So we go from American factual disappointments to American factual myths that are still disappointing. So they're not really too much different, but this is another part of our show. I like the way America started, right? We're all familiar with taxation without representation. Screw your tea, we ain't having this, I'm gonna throw it in the water.
Yeah. We know your tea's important to you, so we're going to throw it in the water.
Yeah. Taxes started in the U.S. because it was owned by England, which had gotten itself so far in debt by waging war after war. Eventually, it came to the colonies for a little bit of revenue. It said, we're going to start taxing them. Not very nice, you say? Well, the colonists were actually only being taxed 1 or 2% on their income, minimum income tax, now at 15%, I believe. The English were taxing their own people at the time of the Revolutionary War at a much higher rate than the colonists, yet we threw all their tea in the damn water for a 1 or 2% tax increase.
Well, I think we were righteous at least part of the way, because it wasn't just about the 1% tax rate. It was about the hey, you're going to charge us and then not let us have a say so in how things are going. That's not fair.
Right. It's the whole idea behind that 1 or 2% tax. I guess
Without a voice, you can't charge me anything. You can charge me 1 or 2 or 15% as long as you let me have a fair say so.
You ain't charging me nothing because of what you did. That's what it comes down to.
In that voice, anything sounds reasonable.
Betsy Ross sewed the first American flag with 13 stars, right?
That's what I've been told.
Wrong.
Oh,
Yeah. There is
I've
no
got everything
evidence that
wrong.
Ross or any person was solely responsible for creating the flag design with the 13 stars arranged in a circle. Ross herself never claimed responsibility for this. They were like, I know, somebody sewed this first flag by hand, and that's what America's gonna be about. Inventors, revolutions. She was like, I don't know what the hell they're talking about.
yeah, it was probably like 50 years later. They're like, we need a good story for how this flag came about. It was like, well, my Aunt Betsy used to sew flags. Aunt Betsy it is.
According to Betsy Ross, her contributions involved selecting a 5-pointed star over a 6-pointed star, one, because they were easier to make.
She's a practical lady, Aunt Betsy.
Yeah. Trying to take the easy way out. I thought this was about hard work, not handouts.
Yeah.
Our own
Pulling
star,
yourself up by your bootstraps.
right, our
Sewing
own
6-pointed
star
stars.
doesn't have 6 points on it because 5-point stars were easier. What the hell? You've heard the statement, as American as apple pie, right?
I definitely have.
Well, the apple pie was invented in Western Europe.
Ah.
I feel like that's how my relatives would have all reacted to that.
Well, I just don't believe it.
The apple pie was brought to the colonies by the British, Dutch, and Swedes during the 17th and 18th centuries.
But let me ask you this. Did the English, Dutch, or the Swedes put a piece of American cheese on top of it before they microwaved it and then ate it? I don't think so.
I don't think so. You're right.
No.
It may
That's
have come
totally
from
an American
somewhere
thing
else,
to do.
but we made it American.
Well, I feel like to make it American, you either have to deep fry it or you cover it in cheese.
So the image of Paul Revere on horseback. One last thing before we sum this up. Shouting the British are coming. We all remember that, right? It was actually a pornographic film. No, not really.
It was, though.
Well, that moment in history where he took that midnight ride actually has nothing to do with reality. In fact, the valiant Paul Revere on horseback can only be found in a famous poem titled Paul Revere's Ride by a poet named Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, which actually he wrote this poem 85 years after Paul Revere was a part of the ride itself.
See, that's what I'm saying about the Aunt Betsy sewing the flag. Needed a good story several years later and put together this mumbo jumbo, and now we all believe it.
So for starters, Paul Revere wasn't even on the ride alone. He was joined by several others who helped him warn of the arriving British forces, and he actually didn't say the British are coming, he said the regulars are coming.
Redcoats are coming! The redcoats are coming!
What's that racket? What assassins come in the middle of the night?
The regulars.
I'll get the gun.
We're going to give our own things that we like about America. For one, Hulk Hogan. I think we can all agree on that.
Definitely.
Hot dog colored skin and Chinese man blonde hair.
His signature look.
His signature with 24-inch pythons and a
Always
sex
telling
tape.
kids to take their vitamins, say their prayers. Baseball, my friend. good thing America gave us.
Barbecue.
But,
Memphis, Kansas City.
Blues music.
Mm-hmm.
I like that America gave us a middle class before destroying it decades later.
Delivery pizza and other such delivered foods. Diabetes and heart disease straight to your door.
What a country.
Oh, and here's my favorite one. People here think they're better than everyone else no matter what you tell them.
Yeah, thanks, America.
They don't believe in science and they don't believe anything anyone says regardless of the evidence presented.
It's hard to spin that one positively.
Well, we'll just leave it at that.
All right. Remember that as you blow up your fireworks.
And we'll change to a little space news before we leave here. Graphite found at Pluto moon Charon. Pluto's moon Charon has graphite. And dwarf planet Ceres also has graphite on the surface.
Excellent.
So we could all go there in our spacesuits and make a bunch of pencils and draw a bunch of pictures together.
Bring them back to America and sell them as space pencils for 17 times the price of a regular pencil.
Yeah, it'd be really cool. These are made from fine graphite from Ceres.
From Pluto.
Yep. We'd get a whole bunch of graphite dust all over our spacesuits, and then we'd do a Bob Ross and beat the devil out of them.
Paint a little happy bush.
After traveling for 5 years and nearly 1.8 billion miles, NASA's Juno spacecraft will announce its arrival at Jupiter with the simplest of radio signals, a 3-second beep.
Oh, great. What if there's another alien transmission at that exact same time with that exact same radio message?
Good question.
We'll never even know what happened.
Right.
We'll be like, oh, it arrived.
What timing? I mean, we haven't ever received one before, but we get one at the very moment that we're
That'd be our luck.
It would. Could be. Juno is supposed to start orbiting Jupiter on the 4th of July at 11:53 p.m. Thank you, America, and thank you, Americans, and everybody else in the world for listening to this Where Are We podcast. You can catch us on Twitter at Where Are We Show, or at facebook.com/Where Are We Podcast. We're on Spreaker, Pinterest, Stitcher, or on our official site at DannyThacker.com. Are you okay? Is one of them acromantulas getting you?
There's a lot of spider web in here, Dan.
Hey,
I think.
beat him
I
off
brought
with
a
the
machete.
stick. Get him with
I
the
brought a
machete.
Yeah.
Expecto
I have-
Patronum.
Luminosity. I don't even think that was a Harry Potter spell. I'm gonna chop my way out of these webs, Dan. I'll see you next. Nope. I'll see you in a couple weeks.